What's up, legends? I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time that you're watching this. If you are new to the channel, my name is Nia. I go by BLegend because I am the owner and the founder of BLegendBotanica. If you are returning, what's up, Legend Gang? You already know what the is going on. So, guys, I'm back and I'm better. I want you back as a You see, I had to hit that little run for y'all because it's been a little minute. It's been a little minute since we saw each other. Ha! Almost been a week. But that is neither here nor there. I wanted to come to you guys real quick and just, first of all, I want to do a little like this is me sector because I always go back and watch my previous videos. And I had to go back and give myself the shade cam because when I was watching the video, I really did not like the fact I didn't like the fact that when I watched it back, when I said I had a job and I could just feel y'all in the ethers. I know it was me too, but I really could feel y'all in the ethers like, bitch, we all got jobs. Like, listen. It was not supposed to be. We're not sponsored by Nike. It wasn't meant to be like, clearly I know everybody has jobs, and let's be honest about it. For 25 years in my life, I've never gone without working a job until I quit because I was working in a braces establishment. And whether I quit or whether, you know, there was a huge tower moment and something happened, like I got laid off, there we know the truth about about American society. There is pretty much no way to sustain yourself for the most part without having some type of work, even if that's not a quote unquote job like working for a corporation or for some type of industry organization. You have to do some type of work. So I wanted to just let you guys know, like, when I said that, it was really because of the tower moment that I was going through with this specific job and the way that I left the job. The tower moment did tower. I said that, but I feel like I wasn't really clear. And I feel like it's really important for me to be authentic on this page. That's literally what I made it for. I made the page to be authentic, and I just don't want to create a space where it feels unsafe for me to speak the truth. And I felt like at that point I did feel a little bit unsafe, and I had to just sit with myself about that, sit with myself with that thought. And you know, I just kind of came to the conclusion, like, girl, you make the space, like you make the safety of the space. So I just wanted to say that to open up the door to let you guys know, like, you know. And then even after this, if I have to, you know, end up working for somebody else, or, you know, for another big corporation that I, you know, might have said that that'll never be me. All of the things that I feel like I said in my life that would never be me, I would never do this, it ended up being me, and I ended up having to do it. So that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, I believe that regardless of what happens, your ancestors lead you and guide you to the perfect places where you're supposed to be. But I just wanted to acknowledge that because at that point, I had not crossed my T's and dotted my I's with that tower moment. And when I made that video, I knew that I was going to still have some dealings to deal with. So I think that was a little bit of like the apprehension from me there. But just talking about tower moments, because one thing that I've realized is that when spirit wants you to leave out of a situation, right, common verbiage that we can use in order to be able to identify what is going on is a tower moment. Okay, so we are going to talk about abundance mindset, but this all leads into each other. So I first want to start with tower moments, because I feel like while we are cultivating our definitions of what abundance really is, while we're in that process, we're going through tower moments. So let me just explain. So a tower moment, dang, I wrote it in my phone and I'm recording on my phone. So let me just tell y'all, because I don't necessarily need my notes. A tower moment usually starts, it happens in steps from my experience. It usually starts with an initial incident, right? Now, the initial incident is usually something that we don't really pay that much attention to. We kind of, like slide it to the side. It's not really something that it might disrupt a moment, or it might disrupt that portion of the day, but it usually will not disrupt your whole day. It won't disrupt life to the point of where, and the reason being is because the tower moments usually come in familiar forms. So the way that the tower moment is going to come, the way that the situation is going to start to build, the way that this relationship with this person is going to start to reveal itself to you, is going to be in familiar ways. So it's not necessarily going to just hit the panic button like all of a sudden. It's usually something where you might raise an eyebrow, you might like crinkle the face a little bit, but more than likely it won't be something that makes you say, oh no, I gotta do something about this right now. That's the initial incident. Okay, then incidents 2 and or 3 usually will catch your attention, right? The second incident and or the third incident will usually catch your attention to say like, okay, maybe this is something that's like, maybe it's more serious than I thought. Maybe this is something that I need to handle. Usually, if 2 does not get handled, if you decide to be passive with incident number 2, is usually when you see incident number 3, and that's when it's almost like, okay, something has to happen. I need a change. Like, this is like the intermediate period where it's like you're adding gas to the fire. I would say is this point, right? Incident 4 is usually the incident that it's like, okay, you just can't take it no more. So that's usually the incident that leads to you speaking up, the incident that leads to you asking for help, the incident that leads to is giving like desperate. So now when you get to incident 4, there's a feeling of like instant need. There's a desperation for a change. Like, it's like there's no questions about a change. Like, it's like, I know that a change needs to be had. I know that I might not be able to do this by myself, but staying here, is not even an option anymore. Right? So that's usually after incident 4. Incident 5 is usually the breakthrough period, right? So that's usually whatever happens in incident 5 it might be so outrageous. It might be just totally rambunctious to the point where you have no choice. This is usually where people will start saying stuff like, God forced my hand, or I know that God did it, because they on incident 5. Like, they're on step 5 with a tower moment, right? I grew up in a Christian church, and a lot of times, when stuff get like real hard, people will say, and that's how I know that God did it, because of the, okay, that's incident 5. That's step 5 of the tower moment. That's when there ain't no questions about it. It's either you finna get up out of here, or God is finna eject you up out of here. So that's usually when we start to like, ooh, I want to throw out a couple of examples. Like, for example, when if your car breaks down. So let's say If you are in a relationship, like a toxic relationship, and you've been knowing that you needed to leave for a long periodically time, okay? The bus is not even clean. The buses are dirty. Like, you've been knowing this for a long periodically time. So, finally, after you had your good cry session, y'all had that argument, you done grieved this man for 2 weeks, and now, after 2 weeks, it's something that go off in your head after 2 weeks. It's like a switch that just switched that say, like, oh, you're not used to having company over. Okay, y'all know nothing about that Duran Bernard. But anyways, after after 2 weeks, like, you start to have those memories. Y'all have telepathy, okay? Let's not get into it. Like, when you're sexually active with somebody, you have telepathy with them. So, like, the telepathy starts hitting hard at the 2-week mark, right? And one of y'all breaks the no contact. So now you getting ready to go over to go see your man, because spirit been telling you for the last 3 months for real, and letting you slip and slide and do your thing. But baby, okay, so at the 5th incident mark is usually when you would go outside. You done did all of this. You done showered. You done got your nice lingerie, your best lingerie out the back of the closet, like everything, just to go outside and see that your car is not started. That is I was about to say level 5. Like, this is a game. Life really do be feeling like a game after you crack the code, but that's a step 5 tower moment incident type of thing, where it's like, all right, I think usually after you get past like step 5, anything after that, like the incidents that start to happen, the problems that occur in those spaces, so that's when we start to see like a timeline collapse, right? So when the timeline collapses, it's almost like the people in that space will literally start to reject you. And I'm talking about, like, it's gonna hurt your feelings. It's gonna hurt your feelings. Because you are no longer, the timeline has collapsed. You are no longer supposed to be in that space. Like, it's been a long day. Like, it's been a long time. It's time to go. And it's really been time to go. But when time is up, time is up. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you have experienced anything like that. Yeah, I would love to chat about it. Also, I would love to start chatting more in depth about these types of things in our Patreon. I'm going to link the Patreon below because I actually really want you guys to come to the Patreon, especially with the way that YouTube has been eating off of our videos as of late. Shout out to y'all, because y'all got the engagement up so high that YouTube literally said, "Oh, wait a minute. I think I left some money on your front doorstep." And they had to come collect. Okay, they had to come collect, but that's okay because we are getting our engagement up so high. Y'all are liking the video. Y'all are subscribing to the channel because our content is resonating with your soul. And we are just building our community so that pretty soon I will have the rights, the leeway, the layaway, the leeway to be able to control what content has ads, aka I'm really pushing this because I do not want we do not want our meditative videos to have ads in them. It's kind of like, contradictory to the purpose. How can you meditate if every 4 minutes you got to skip an ad about vaping, or skip an ad about your car insurance, or skip an ad about your motherfucking the Federal Bureau? Like, we don't give a fuck. We don't care about that. Like, I'm trying to work on my root chakra, and you are talking about the Federal Bureau. I'm about to federally. Okay, but anyways, Anyways, let's get back to it. So yeah, those tower moments, timelines collapsing. So usually those are the moments where when we think about it, when we are in the midst of going through it and we think about it, it seems like, it's a hard knock life. For us, it's giving very much like, depressive feelings and stuff like that. It's very easy to fall into, feelings of victimhood and woe is me. And I'm not saying that these are bad feelings or bad realms of emotions, because they're necessary. They teach us a lot of things, but I think it is important for us to realize that they are not meant for us to dwell in these spaces forever, right? And speaking of that, yep. Okay, so abundance mindset. Let me read y'all this download. Abundance mindset is focused on unconditional love of the self. So there are a few things that come with abundance mindset, aka having this unconditional love for the self. And mind you, the rewards of abundance mindset are also the ways to activate and or achieve abundance mindset. So they're literally one and the same. It's almost like, the journey is a destination. So the first thing is pure and lighthearted joy, right? So when I wrote this down, pure and lighthearted joy, can I just say joy is a very heavy emotion, and I think a lot of us, we don't give credit to joy because we feel like we don't feel joy. I feel like it's easy for us to feel like we don't feel joy, or like we haven't felt joy in a long time, when we have been operating in these capitalistic systems for so many years. And I feel like when I say these capitalistic systems, I'm not even talking about the way that we work and eat and live our lives, and we not even just that, but also talking about our word choices, our verbiage, our language, right? Where did our language come from? Really, let's talk about it. I think that it is so easy for us to miscount moments of joy. It's almost like we don't think that moments of joy still count as joy when they really do. So when Spirit said pure, lighthearted joy, it reminded me automatically of being a kid, the inner child, and more specifically childishness. A lot of times adults can get like reprimanded for childishness or acting like a child, when a lot of times they were just expressing pure lighthearted joy. I really want to drive that home. Be conscious of the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you speak to yourself. When you find yourself in those really happy, lighthearted, giggly, silly moments, that is pure lighthearted joy. It's not necessarily childishness. Really try not to reprimand yourself for that, because in this world we don't get a lot of those moments handed to us and credited and validated. We don't get to share and experience a lot of those moments with which is anybody and just everybody. I feel like there are only certain relationships that we have in our life to where we're going to be able to share certain moments like that. And it's really important. It's really important to give credit to that. And it's also really important to give credit to those moments that you have within yourself. Those moments where you make yourself laugh. Those jokes. Y'all, I'm back. My phone had died, but okay. So I was saying, even those moments that you make yourself laugh, Give credit to those small moments of joy. All of those moments definitely count. And the next thing that comes with having an abundance mindset, but is also a way to achieve an abundance mindset, is relentless empathy for all dimensions of the self, okay? That includes the higher self or the inner angel, the shadow or the inner demon, if you will, the inner child, the divine masculine, your divine feminine, and the ego. Now, I know the inner demon debatably could be the ego. I'm not gonna go too deep into semantics. I just wanted to use some terms that we all know, okay? Take what resonates and then spit out the sticks, like my granny used to say. Eat the meat, spit out the sticks, okay? But yes, for you to bring in an abundance of the things that you would want, right? An abundance of prosperity, an abundance of joy, right? An abundance of wealth, an abundance of prosperity, an abundance of fortitude, an abundance of what? Visceral fortitude. I don't know. Somebody can I'll actually look that, man, let me write that down. I'll look that up and then I'll put it visceral. I don't know. Visceral. I'm not cutting this out. So if I go and look it up and it's like a deeper message, I'll just put the deeper message in the description box below. But yeah, visceral fortitude. In order for you to truly manifest all of these things, right? All of these positive things that you are calling in, you have to first really set the standard of love, because let's be honest, I feel like a lot of times we don't understand the requirements of what we're asking for, right? It's one thing to have money. It's another thing to have discipline with your money, right? And not even just discipline saying like, oh, well, I know how to save and how to invest. I'm more so talking about the discipline to not do certain things because I know that I don't have to. Just because I have this money doesn't mean that I have to go and spend it on this. And I'm more so talking about I'm talking about things that more so are concerning the ego, basically. So if when money comes, the ego starts to scream, that is just a hint that you may need to cultivate a tighter relationship with your ego, right? Why is the ego screaming? A lot of times the ego, this is what I've noticed over my own personal experience. A lot of times the ego, right? Because the ego is the only dimension of the self that isn't the self at all, like, right? The ego was they say that your ego is established by the time you are 5 years old. By the time you're 5 years old, a lot of us didn't even know how to write our name, or some of the letters was backwards, or our spacing was a little off. Like, 5 years old is very, very, very young, not mature at all enough to have you know what I'm trying to say, like, to develop something that the ego that I have now, right, as a 25-year-old, it's difficult for me to think, oh, this part of me was already fully developed by the time that I was 5. That's actually, it's a little scary. Like, if I'm being honest, the ego is the only dimension of the self where it was completely put together, completely given to you, completely hand picked and hand pieced and hand woven by other people, by your environment, by those around you. It was completely hand woven by other people, right? So a lot of times the ego will tag team other parts of you. So for instance, me being me being in a relationship, right? The ego is very, very, well, shit. The ego is very, very likely to tag my divine feminine first, right? Then it's going to more than likely tag my inner child, because the divine feminine and the inner child are like this. They go hand in hand. Creativity, communication, playfulness. You know what I'm saying? Like inspiration, all types of stuff like that. That's just in relationships. At work, I'm not gonna lie, the ego will tag team my divine masculine first, and then it'll tag team my inner child. um notice Notice the different personality traits that you are displaying in different environments. That will let you know what energy or what dimension of the self you are actively operating in or from. It'll let you know what energy is tag teaming what. If there's usually a tag team going on. I was gonna say if there is a tag team going on, but there's usually always some type of tag team going on, because we are multi-dimensional beings. um yeah, I kind of want to come off of this. Okay. Spirit also wanted, this is just something that I wrote down. Spirit wanted to talk about past lives, because I know that that could be debated as other dimensions of the self, right? So once you start to explore your Akashic records, and you start to explore past selves or past lives, or even if it's through dreams, and you came to discover, okay, this was me, or in whatever way you discover your past lives and past selves. um that can be, the past selves can be incorporated into the higher self and the shadow energy, because at the end of the day, these are things that you have taken with you. Um and the fact that they are so prominent in your energy now, in your memory now, at this point in your life, in this current reality, I feel like it just shows how much of that energy is still present with you. And the way that it came to me, the easiest way to I guess categorize the overall energy of your past selves, you could put it into higher self and shadow energy, because either the energy from the past selves is going to be helping you to elevate and giving you like wisdom from the past. um yeah, giving you wisdom, giving you tips. Like for example, a lot of us might start a craft and say, oh, this is like, I'm picking this up, I'm a natural at this. Okay, that might be past life wisdom coming through the higher self, letting you know what to do. You know what to do. You don't even need to look at the directions. You just knitting, or you just cooking, and you just dumping in ingredients. You really don't need no recipes, and you baking. That's crazy. If y'all ever baked and you just baking with no ingredients, that's crazy. That might definitely be some past life ancestral energy that's coming through, because that's crazy. The measurements are imparable. But yeah, and then other times it could be shadow energy. So for example, when we start talking about like past life trauma or past life regressions, right? It can be some things that you struggle with in a past life, and you are still actively currently struggling with it right now. And sometimes it might come up as just shadow energy that you will have to overcome, or that you will be able to overcome. Yeah. So Guys, also too, I just have to go ahead and shout out the Legendary Sound Sanctuary one more time. Not only because you guys are awesome and you guys give us lots and lots of ideas and inspiration to continue to build it up, but also because that was like the weakest drummer. Let me put a real drummer in there. Because while you are doing all of your legendary manifestation work, all of your visualizations, all of your grounding, all of your centering, all of your recapitulations, all of your Reiki work, all of your whatever you are doing, all of your dreaming. Hello, we should do something for lucid dreaming. Let me write that down. All of your everything, child, we have it, okay? And if we don't have it, please let us know in the comments what you need and we will work on it, because I really just love this. What do we say? Lucid dreaming. I got y'all. I really love sound healing. I grew up singing and I never was able to pick up reading music like that. But people used to always tell me that that was called, like, you know, singing by ear. And they used to always tell me I had a good ear. Didn't have perfect pitch, but I had a good ear. So this is something that I really do take seriously and I love it so much. And I'm just so super glad that you guys are embarking on this journey with me. And yeah, I just love y'all. Feel free to just go through our playlist and see what works for you. And yeah, just one more time, if you guys feel like, you know, there's anything that's not there that you would love to see, always drop down in the comments and let us know. If you don't want everybody to see, you know, your YouTube page, or, you know, I get it, because I'm not the type to be commenting and want everybody to see me too. Like, I'm the type. Not the 5 popped out. But y'all could also expeditiously head to our DMs on either TikTok or Instagram. I'm gonna put the TikTok and Instagram right here, so y'all don't have any excuses. Okay, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, turn up our accounts. Our TikTok is a little dry, but we be turning up on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram and follow us on TikTok. Even though TikTok is going through some technical difficulties right now with the house, follow us on all of our social media platforms. We love y'all so much. Before we get out of here, I just want to drop one more download on you guys. This is something that it really caught me off guard, because it's something that we often don't really discuss, and I don't think we take it into consideration. So Spirit wanted to tell us that to release is to manifest, and to manifest is to call in a release. Now, this specifically to me related to the way that we think about full moon, new moon cycles, right? Because we always hear on a full moon, that's when you're supposed to release. Don't do no manifesting on a full moon. That's what they always say. Don't do no manifesting on a full moon. Duh. I mean, you can cleanse on a new moon. And I think that's really where the semantics start to intersect with these definitions, right? On a new moon, it's okay to do your releasing, because as you are releasing, you are making room for your manifestations, for what you're bringing in, which is actively working in the energy of the manifestation, right? But when you are releasing, did I just say that? Now I got stuck. When you're manifesting, you are actually calling in new energy, and in order for that new energy to come in, something has to move, right? So it's almost like when you cut on the air. This is the analogy that Spirit is giving to me. So we know that there's not really a such, like, cold air doesn't move, right? The only thing that moves is heat, right? Heat has that kinetic energy. Cold is like stagnant. Cold air doesn't move. So it's almost like when you cut on the air conditioning in the summertime, right? You feel the air eventually, but that's because in order for you to feel the cold air, the hot air had to move first and foremost. If that hot air didn't move, you would be calling the furnace man, and the furnace man would be looking at you like, baby, I don't know what to tell you. The hot air is the thing that has to move. There first has to be some type of release. To manifest, right? To cut on the air conditioning, to manifest is to call in some type of release. And I feel like a lot of times we go through life and we manifest, we call in this, we call in that, all these things, all of these wishes of fulfillment that we want, and we don't expect a tower moment. We don't expect some type of timeline collapse. A lot of times, we ask for, this amount of money, but we don't see that we had to leave that house. Leave the house, yes, leave the house, and leave all of the furniture too. And leave your roommate that you've been best friends with for 15 years. All of them gotta go. They could stay in that city, and you are moving, elevating somewhere else. We don't see the correlation a lot of times between what's going on. But at the end of the day, spirit has vision that surpasses us on so many different levels in so many different realms. Yeah. So I just want to encourage you guys today, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard your tower is shaking, no matter how hard the rocks from the top of the tower are hitting the ground, no matter how many pieces it looks like your tower is crumbling into, all of those pieces are all of those pieces are going to be literally used in order to build up a stronger, better, more decorative, more beautiful, more astounding, more like aesthetic. Like it's gonna be a tower that's really yours, a tower that looks like you, that feels like you, a tower that has your aesthetic, that has your vibe, that has everything that you could imagine and even more. And I think a lot of times when we ask for things and then we start to fight the universe's way of giving it to us, then the universe has to show us why that is a small-minded state of being, right? And we get more and more frustrated at times without realizing, oh, this is just a tower moment. So not at this point in my life, I faced so many tower moments. When things start going like astronomically like stupid bonkers, like if stuff is going so stupid fucking bonkers where it's like, all right, like, all right, like, you can usually handle like a punch or two, maybe three, maybe 3 punches. But when it's starting to feel like 6, 7, 8 punches, and then somebody come and step on your toe, it's like, all right, I'm in a tower moment. Because why would you just, like, what just made, why my toe? Like, God, why? That's usually what we be like, God, why me? Like, why me? But instead of falling into victimhood, just remember it's you because you asked for that big blessing. And it's not to say that, like, okay, you gotta pay the cost. Like, like you want to get blessed, now you gotta get whooped. Like, it's not like that. It's not like, you have to be punished in order to be rewarded. But it's just like, I think it's really, okay, spirit is leading me to be more serious, because what they're saying is the obstacles that come with the blessing are often greater than the obstacles that we're dealing with right now. And in order for us to be prepared to deal with the obstacles that come with the blessing without losing the blessing, we need to face a similar monster now. I'm just a messenger. That's actually very profound because that's very profound. And I think it's especially profound with what's going on right now in Black Hollywood. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I do just want to say that a lot of the people that are coming out, they're coming out and they're talking about how much they didn't know when they first signed on, when they first started, when they first, you know, years ago, before social media was popping like how it was, before cancel culture started taking people's whole careers away, and now it didn't really matter, you know, what they was being promised, because the people could literally take it away, and they saw that they wasn't gonna be backed by, you feel me? Wow, I forgot where I was going with that. It reminds us how blessed we are to be able to really see, examine, and study something before you fully get all the way in, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I feel like a lot of people didn't necessarily have that opportunity, and my empathy really does go out to them. My prayers go out to them, and I know that the Lord is with all of us in our own journeys. But yeah, it's almost like preparation work, you know. What you are facing today is preparing you for your tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, because they always say like it doesn't get easier from here. Well, it's gonna get easier for you because you gonna have more joy. You go, and like when you have prosperity, you're really going to feel it because you know how to cultivate joy out of a tower moment. Once you understand how you can cultivate joy out of tower moments, out of rubbles, out of dust, then you can cultivate joy out of anything. They got a dog next door. Y'all, excuse, there is nothing going on next door. They just have a new puppy, and so please, nobody is getting M-worded or nobody is getting harmed during the filming of this video. Just puppies getting trained next door. But all right, guys, I got some soup on the stove and some ice cream in the fridge that's been calling my name. That's what ice cream is calling me. Okay. I hope that you guys are living your best life. I love y'all so much, legends. And yeah, I'm glad that this is a safe space that we can come and just kick it. I'm going to put the Patreon down below because I really want to have a separate space where we can really kick it, if you know what I'm saying. Cause yeah, YouTube is like our managers, and you know they see us now. Like they know we out here. So I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm not gonna do no editing to this video for real. It just is what it is. And yeah, we just gonna call it an authentic Jupiter. All right, peace. See y'all later, legends. Stay legendary.